They say a mother's love knows no limits. But what happens when that love is hidden, shamed, and rejected? Little Nyamekye was full of joy, always seen running beside her brother, Edu, holding hands, laughing and tumbling in the sand. Due to their inseparable bond, people thought they were twins. And even they thought they were twins indeed. Come and have your meal, their mother would call as she dished out steaming yam and contomere stew into their bowl. On weekends, Maame Dufie would wash with them while they play around with the ladder. Maame Dufie taught them godly values. Edu and Nyamekye shared everything. Even their birthdays were celebrated on the same day. And Maame Dufie, their mother, was their world. They simply called her Maame, meaning mother. She had a heart of gold and loved other kids like her own kids. Occasionally, she would cook and call all the kids in the neighborhood to dine with them. Nyamekye used to boast proudly, "My mommy can cook better than all your mummies, and she's the strongest trader in the whole market." Some of the kids were bullies. They were jealous of Nyamekye's intelligence, her popularity with teachers, and her confidence. One day at school, a boy sneered, "Your mother looks like a pirate. Only witches wear one eye." The class burst into laughter. Maame Dufie had lost one eye mysteriously and wore an eye patch. Nyamekye froze, and from that day, she was never the same. The outgoing Nyamekye, who was now 13 years, became very reserved and wouldn't talk in class except when she answered questions. She stopped bragging about her mother. Then she stopped waving to her when she came to pick her up at school. At junior high, Nyamekye was always the quiet one. Her grades were excellent. Her manners were impeccable. But behind the smile was a deep discomfort, especially when the topic of Parents-Teachers Association meeting came up. "Mommy, there is a PTA meeting next week," she said without looking up from her food. "Oh, okay. What time should I come?" Maame Dufie would ask, gently wiping her hands on her clothes. Nyamekye's face tightened. "You don't have to come. It's not that serious. I can just tell them you were busy." Maame Dufie didn't argue. But that night, as Edu, Nyamekye's older brother, sat down to eat, she sighed deeply and asked, "Edu, why doesn't your sister want me to come to her school?" Edu shook his head. "She says people will stare at your eye patch. I'll talk to her." Edu had already spoken to her many times, but Nyamekye never changed. At senior high, it got worse. During visiting days, while the other students ran to hug their parents at school gates, Nyamekye always stood alone, waiting only for her brother. "I brought you stew, plantain chips, and the money Mommy gave me," Edu said. Nyamekye would nod but wouldn't smile. "Tell her not to come next time," she said. "They'll laugh at me if they see her." When university admission came through, it should have been a family celebration. But Nyamekye insisted she would travel to campus alone with Edu. "Let's go together," Maame Dufie offered. "I want to see where you sleep, my daughter." "No, Mommy, I'll be fine. Edu is coming with me. It's far and you won't be comfortable." The words stung, but Maame Dufie simply nodded. Then came Kwame, a rich and gentle, well-mannered young man who showed interest in Nyamekye. He was everything a girl could dream of. For months, he asked to meet Nyamekye's family, especially her mother. But Nyamekye always found a reason. She had introduced Kwame to Edu, her brother, but wasn't willing to introduce him to her mother. She would give excuses such as, "She's not well, she's traveling, she's not around." Kwame finally reached his limits. He said, "If I can't know the woman who raised you, then I can't build a future with you." And just like that, he walked away. Nyamekye came home in tears. She found her mother peeling yam in the backyard. "It's all your fault," she shouted. "Why can't you be like other mothers? Why did you have to wear that eye patch all the time? You've cursed my life. You look like a witch." Maame Dufie froze. The knife slipped from her hand. Edu rushed out of the room. "Nyamekye, what are you saying?" But Maame Dufie raised her hand and said softly, "Let her speak." Tears welled up in her one good eye. And then, quietly, she said, Let me tell you a story. She sat her children down. Nyamekye, though hesitant because she wasn't interested in the story, eventually she sat down to listen. Then Maame Dufie began. There was once a woman, a yam trader from a small village. One market day, she traveled with her 9-month-old son on her back. On the way, they encountered a terrible accident. A car had crashed ahead of them. Among the wreckage, they found a baby girl crying, alone. Her mother had died instantly, and no one knew her family. No one came for her. But this woman couldn't leave the baby behind. She was a mother too, so she lifted her and right there on the roadside nursed the baby alongside her son. The woman brought the baby home, raised her, loved her, and named her Nyamekye because she believed the child was a gift from God. Nyamekye's heart began to pound, but the baby had lost one eye in the crash, so the woman gave the baby one of her own eyes so that the girl wouldn't grow up with people laughing at her or calling her names. As she grew, the girl became ashamed of the very eye that gave her sight. She told her mother not to come to her school, not to visit her at boarding house, and not to take her to the university. She even hid her from her lover. One day, she blamed her for all the hurts in her life. Maame Dufie paused. Her voice cracked. Edu's eyes widened, and at this moment, they all began to cry as though there was a funeral. Maame Dufie looked at her daughter and said, "That woman was me, and that baby is you." Nyamekye couldn't breathe. Her legs gave way as she dropped to her knees. No, Mommy, I didn't know. I'm so sorry." Maame Dufie said, "I never needed your thanks. You are my daughter. I just needed your love." That evening, Nyamekye and Edu, her brother, went to plead with some elders to help beg their mom. Nyamekye stood before them, and with her head bowed in regret and her voice trembling, she said, "I have sinned against you, Mother. She gave me life twice, and I returned her love with shame. Please help me ask for her forgiveness." Maame Dufie stepped forward. She placed her hand on her daughter's head and said, "I forgave you the moment you were born into my arms. You are still my Nyamekye. You are my gift from God." If this story touched your heart, please share with someone you love. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that remind us of the strength of love, the weight of truth, and the beauty of forgiveness. Until next time, honor the ones who gave you more than just life. They gave you a purpose. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, comment, let me know your feedback. Bye.